I think Edgardo has very beautifully put the cards right on the table, because precisely my point is that the issue is in government itself. It's in politics in Mexico. I was going to cite a couple of studies. For instance, Article 19, the International Free Press Group, every year comes out with a new statement on the situation of freedom of expression in Mexico, and it's very clear that between 60 and 70% of the attacks on the press come with either direct participation or clear complicity of the authorities. Just recently, there have been a series of new reports, for instance, on the situation of the 43 students from Ayotzinapa from 2014. We were
from Guerrero State
about that last year. Guerrero State. Well, apparently the independent studies done by both a specialized group of Argentinian forensic investigators and the International Inter-American Commission on Human Rights have both concluded that the government investigation into the what happened to the 43 students was full of complete lies. For instance, the most important thing was what happened to the students. The government had said that the 43 students were burned on an open pyre in a city close to Iguala. And it turns out that this was materially and scientifically impossible. The Mexican population is now getting very used to the government lying to it and being the center part of this problem. I agree with Edgardo. The real solution in Mexico is from civil society. The problem there is I'm not as optimistic as Edgardo in terms of what the role the Pope is actually playing. He's saying lots of abstract philosophical things about indigenous rights, about forced disappearances, about death and corruption, but he's not pointing his finger. And as long as he doesn't point his finger, as long as Mexican civil society doesn't actually point its finger at politics and the government as the central problem with this issue, the Mexican authorities are going to be able to dance around these accusations and continue to pretend, as Ambassador Gomez Rodriguez said, pretend that Mexico is a democracy. When in my recent book, I'm pretty much demonstrating and arguing that Mexico is not a democracy.
All right, a difference of opinion on that point.
Yes.